Peru News Today. All you need to know about Peru.
Israel approved a 4-day ceasefire to allow the release of 50 kidnapped by Hamas. The Israeli chief executive explained that the agreement includes visits by the Red Cross to the hostages who have not yet been released, as well as the supply of medicines. Israel and Hamas reached an agreement for a ceasefire in the conflict in exchange for the release of some 50 hostages, including women and children, of the 240 kidnapped by the terrorist group in the October 7 attack. "We have a difficult decision before us tonight, but it is the right decision," Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said. The Israeli chief executive explained that the agreement includes visits by the Red Cross to the hostages who have not yet been released, as well as the supply of medicines. It also includes a 4-day truce, which would involve a pause in fighting on the ground and limits on Israel's air operations in southern Gaza. Netanyahu added that for every 10 hostages released, the cessation of hostilities will be extended by one more day. The pact also leads to the release of some 150 to 300 Palestinians from Israeli prisons, including women and children. According to Israeli public television, the temporary cessation of hostilities will begin this Thursday to give 24 hours for the presentation of possible appeals to the government decision before the Supreme Court. Hamas will take the hostages to Egypt through the Rafah crossing in daily groups of about 10 and, from there, they will be transferred to Israel. For its part, Israel must release some 150 Palestinian prisoners, also mostly women and minors who are not convicted of blood crimes. In addition, the Israel Defense Forces pledge not to fly over the Gaza Strip for 6 hours a day while the truce is in effect to allow Hamas to locate hostages held by other armed groups, such as Islamic Jihad. By some estimates, Hamas is holding between 210 and 240 hostages, while Palestinian Islamic Jihad is holding around 30. The agreement also includes, according to the Hebrew press, the entry into the strip of 100 to 300 trucks with food and medical aid, as well as fuel. No soldiers or men will be released, nor will the bodies of dead hostages be recovered. However, local media indicated that they could exchange elderly men and hostages with foreign nationality. Another point highlighted by the Israeli press is that Hamas must provide the names of the people who will be released one day in advance. "I want to clarify. We are at war and we will continue to be at war until we achieve all our objectives, destroy Hamas and return all our captives and missing people," Netanyahu said. All members of the executive voted in favor of the exchange and the truce except the 3 ministers of the Jewish Power Party, Otzma Yehudit, of the far right and Minister of National Security, Itamar Ben-Gvir. The negotiations for the release of the hostages in a truce in the conflict have been mediated by Qatar, where Hamas has a political office and where its leader, Ismail Haniyeh, is located. The provisions of this agreement were formulated in accordance with the vision of resistance and determination that seek to serve our people and strengthen their tenacity in the face of aggression, Hamas said in a statement. "We confirm that our fingers will remain on the triggers and that our triumphant battalions will remain on the lookout," he added. Hours before the announcement, Hamas terrorists announced that the ball was in Israel's court after the group reported its position on the agreement to mediators from Qatar and Egypt. This pause comes after weeks of increasing pressure from the international community and major international organizations, such as the United Nations, to stop the incessant attacks, which have also left more than 1.5 million displaced. Subscribe and follow us on our social networks, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Peru News Today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.